There's an interesting martial art riddle that's going to happen this weekend, and that is, what happens if you get an MMA fighter against a two-time world champion boxer, put them in a different sport, bare knuckle fighting. You have Artem Lobov.
You know, Malignaggi, he's a little fucking pussy that plucks his eyebrows. I want to spark him.
Who was fighting Paulie Malignaggi. And this stems back to the Conor McGregor-Mayweather camp when Paulie was brought in to spar with Conor. He's talked his way into a fight with Artem over the last while, probably to get at Conor. And there's some big factors in this fight that will suit each fighter. First one being, it's bare knuckle. Range is very important here. Boxing range is different to MMA range because of the glove. And with bare knuckle, you have to be closer again. But inside that close range, we also have clinch. You can clinch with one arm and you can fight out of the clinch. In boxing, when you clinch, they break it up straight away. The other factor in this is where it starts. It doesn't start from one corner to the other. It starts on a line 3 feet away from each other, which encourages a engagement straight from the get-go. There's no pacing here, it's just going at it. It's very hard to get away and move around and keep the distance if you're starting close. The other factor, and it's a big factor, is cuts. You're going to get cut with bare knuckle. Also, having blood on your hands from the other fighter makes the hands slip a little bit more, especially in the clinch, or especially with slip and punches, they're going to slide a little easier than they will connect. The fragility of the hand, it's got a lot of bones. You've got a forehead, you've got elbows, you've got all those things that you can hit off that will damage the hands. So you have to be very selective in your shots. Artem has a good advantage in the fact that he's already had a fight, whereas Paulie hasn't. If all he's done is pads, then you have a problem, because your pad guy is always going to catch the shots, even if you're punching short. Whereas if you ever spar with no gloves, it's a different range. You got to really be selective. You can't just wing shots. You can't hope the shot hits. And with boxing gloves, you can get away with a lot more than you can with no gloves. In this fight, we've got 5 2-minute rounds. Boxing's 10 to 12 3-minute rounds. MMA is 5 rounds or 3 rounds by 5 minutes. This will suit the most explosive guy, the fast starter. In boxing, you can use that amount of time to figure out the fighter. The longer it goes on, the more experience will play in. But in a short, frantic 2 minutes, it's very hard to figure out the way the fighter is. If he shows you a different look, it's very hard to readjust. So with this type of fight, it's going to suit the guy who starts fast and can keep up the pace. For me, I've been lucky to see both guys spar and meet both guys. So for me, it's a very interesting and it's a unique fight that I think is going to really make a difference on martial arts. I think it's a great platform. I know it's bloody, but it's a skill factor. It's part of it. And I'm hoping to see a good contest between the two guys. We should be in for a good night.